to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's an honor as usual to be out here and greeting you, always bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity, and it is your choice that would allow you to create your reality whichever way you want it to be. And that is why I want to speak to you concerning thoughts, emotion, and manifestation. And I want to show you how thoughts work and how to use your mind to create what you desire in this world. So my brother, my sisters, before I go any further, if you're listening to me for the very first time, I want to let you know the basis of my teaching is that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. For the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, and that it was written symbolically. And also it have no reference to anyone that existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that took place on earth thousands of years ago. From Genesis 1 to Revelation 22, it's all a great psychological drama. It all have to do with the human psyche. And that is why I want to speak to you concerning thoughts, emotion, and manifestation. Now, what I'm doing, I'm relating the creation story for you. But for you to understand how I am teaching you the creation story is that I'm teaching you also that the Bible is your spiritual autobiography. Now, there are many who believe that they're so woke that the Bible should be burnt or it should be thrown away. There are many people, especially people who claim to be melanated people, who are so much against the Bible because they are listening to the wrong people who are trying to bring a solution to them, saying to them that the Bible was used to brainwash and manipulate them. But if something was used to brainwash and manipulate you, then that same thing have to be used to free you, because that is what was used in the first place. So anything that can brainwash you and deceive you, that same thing can be used to free you also. It is called reverse psychology. So that's all I'm doing, teaching you how to think the reverse way, how to act the reverse way, to break the curse, to break the spell. Now, let us look first of all at what is a thought. Now, a thought is a vibrational frequency, and everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. Now, if everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, then it means nothing is solid. Like this bench I'm sitting here on, it's not solid. But to you, when you look at it, you believe that it is solid. But it is not solid. Now, for you to understand what I'm saying, you have to realize that everything that you behold without, it is within. So everything you're saying is an outer projection of what's inside of you. It is called perception. You are the perceiver, beholding the perception. Now, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and 11 tells you that the world is downloaded in you. And I always use the analogy of a flash drive. That when you look at a flash drive like this, you wouldn't see anything. But if you plug it into the computer, then you would behold everything that is downloaded on the flash drive, or everything that is downloaded on a computer also. You look at a computer like that. Not until you plug it in and you get on a certain frequency that you'll be able to behold everything that is downloaded on the computer also. So you have to be on a certain vibrational frequency to understand certain things. So each and every one in this world, they are creating by their thoughts, but they are creating based on the frequency that they are on. So some are on the frequency of fear, some are on the frequency of love. Because all of the negative emotions, they all come from fear. And all the positive emotions, they all come from the energy of love. So you can either be God awake or God asleep. So when the Bible speaks of God and the devil, it is speaking of your positive self and your negative self, your higher self and your lower self. So it is our own thoughts that is creating our reality. It is our own thoughts that's creating our personality. But how does it work? Now, I would have mentioned before that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. Now, emotion is energy in motion. So, when we add emotion to our thoughts, they become creative. Our thoughts become even more powerful by the emotion, because the emotion is going to send certain messages to the brain. And the subconscious mind is going to receive that emotion in the form of feeling. And the secret of this is hidden in the Bible, in the story of Isaac, Jacob, and Esau, where Esau represents the outer man, the hairy man. Okay, and Jacob, the smooth man, represents the inner man. And Isaac represents the subconscious mind that is impartial because he's blind. And he's receiving everything based on feeling. And that is why when he feel, he gave Jacob the blessing, teaching you that you have to check your subconscious mind by feeling. So when you do your affirmations, do not allow your mind to tell you otherwise. That is why it's very important for you to get into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. So when you're going to bed also, and you're using your imagination to create your reality, because you believe that it is your own thoughts that is creating your reality, and that you can create your reality consciously, you have to be mindful that you must have the feeling, you must generate that feeling of your wish fulfilled. You have to think about how you would feel. Was it taking place at the very moment that you have the thought and you act out the play? Because this whole life, it's all a game. So you have to act in the feeling and have the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, for example, if you're looking at a movie, and in movies you see people, and you see them crying, you see them laughing, and you see all these different emotions that they're using in the movie, that it becomes so real that people are looking at the movie and don't even for once think that it's people who are actually acting. And you get so taken up in the movie. Sometimes a person can get so taken up in movies that they would actually be arguing. And they would be using all of their emotion and getting so caught up in the movie. So my brother and my sisters, it's very important to understand how thoughts and emotion, they must come into union for there to be manifestation. It's like a man and a woman, the masculine and the feminine. That is what the Bible is speaking about in Ephesians chapter 5, where he's talking about husband and wife. And how the wife must submit herself to her husband. And how the husband must rule over the wife. We have to let our thoughts and our emotion marry each other. When I say marry each other, coming into union. That's how we're going to bring forth manifestation. And that is why after marriage, everyone have the expectation of multiplication. And it is referred to as procreation, bringing forth after its own kind. And even in our very life, this truth of thought, emotion, and manifestation is hidden. So right there, my brother, my sister, is teaching us that we can be whatever we want to be, do whatever we want to do. We can become whoever we want to become in this world. If we understand the principle of thought, emotion, and manifestation. Because when you have the thought, and you add emotion to it, you add that feeling. And then, after you add that feeling, your intuition will tell you what to do. So you would put action. Because your subconscious mind receive the feeling. And then, after a certain amount of time, you would reap the harvest, which is the manifestation. And then you would say that no one could convince you otherwise that you didn't create whatever it is that you were so desiring, and then you see the fulfillment of it. So my brother, my sisters, I'm actually giving you the key of how you should manifest your reality. Because you have the power in you to achieve your every desire. But many people have been leaving out the feeling. You must get into the feeling. You must get into that feeling of your wish fulfilled. You must use emotion when you're using your imagination. Because as I said before, emotion is energy in motion. So my brother, my sisters, that's my encouragement to you. Because deep within me, I feel that there are people who they're writing affirmations, they're using their imagination, and they've been doing a number of things, and they haven't been seeing any result in their life to prove that this message that I'm bringing to them, that it is true. And I'm saying to you, the missing link might be the emotion that you're not putting towards your manifestation. And that is why throughout the day, you have to think mindfully. Everything you do, you have to do it mindfully. Even your breathing should be done mindfully. You're supposed to be so focused on your thoughts and how you should act and how you should believe in yourself and what you should listen to, what you should feed upon throughout the day, so that in the night you'll be so aware and so conscious of what you're supposed to do 5 minutes or 10 minutes before you go to bed. And Job 33, 14 to 16 should be your guide, to guide you. Psalm 4:4 supposed to be your guide, to guide you. Matthew 6:6 supposed to be your guide, to guide you. And my brother, my sisters, you will reap the harvest of putting your thoughts and your emotion together. So that is my advice to you, encouraging you to always use your emotion when you are using your imagination. So my brother, my sisters, I want to come to a close here by saying to you that if this is the first time you're listening to me and what I am saying making sense to you, if you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to share, or to comment. And I want to let you know that this message I bring to you, it is the single eye. Yes, the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And my brother and my sisters, hadn't it been that I would have had that experience of that single eye opening up within me, and I would have heard the unearthly wind and ascend as a fiery being. After first of all, I would have felt that great mighty shaking, that great earthquake, and I would have rolled the stone away and came out of the tomb and know that this body is the tomb in which Christ is buried, and that Christ is my higher self. Because God is your own human imagination, which is the creator in everyone. So whenever I had an awakened imagination, and that is why my brother and my sisters, I all put my hand above my crown chakra, saying to you that when you have the experience, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N and S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun parallels the human imagination, the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you are told that the Lord thy God is a sun, as in a S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And that's in Psalms 84:11. And in Malachi 4:2, you are told also that the sun, as in the S-U-N of righteousness, shall arise in you with healing in his wings. That's why, my brother and my sisters, my encouragement to you is to always use your mind power, which is your sun power, your God power, your solar power, your creative power, to achieve your every desire. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.